Most people live their life in a habit. They think the same thoughts, they perform the same actions, they live by the same emotions, but they secretly expect their life to change. But how you think, how you act, and how you feel is called your personality. And your personality creates your personal reality. That's it. So if you think 60 to 70,000 thoughts in one day, and 90% of those thoughts are the same thoughts as the day before, the same thoughts always lead to the same choices. The same choices always lead to the same behaviors. The same behaviors create the same experiences, and the same experiences produce the same emotions. And those same emotions then drive your very same thoughts. So then, the hardest part about change, really, in creating the life that you want, being defined by a vision of the future instead of a memory of the past, is not making the same choices you did the day before. And the moment you do that, you step into the unknown. Now, you and I have been conditioned and hypnotized into believing that the unknown is some scary place. But when you begin to realize the unknown is the perfect place to create from, that void of unpredictability, that uncertainty, that unfamiliarity is really the quantum place of uncertainty where all manifestations come from. So when you and I become comfortable living in that unknown place, think then that we begin to manifest the things we want in our lives.
Do you know one of the top reasons why most people are never successful in their life? Why they never get to the finish line? What holds them back the most? I mean, yeah, there are a lot of reasons, to be honest with you. Procrastination, fear, valuing others' opinions too much. So what is one of the main reasons why we don't believe in ourselves? Again, man, there are so many reasons, but I really narrowed it down to two main consistent reasons as to why. You see, the first reason why is because a lot of us, we're afraid of how gifted we really are. We're afraid that when we get to the finish line and we actually get to that point where we're actually walking in that purpose and we see how gifted we are, we're afraid of how heavy the crown just might be. We'll get to that point and say, oh shit, this shit is real. Like, I might be the first person to have to break this generational curse in my family. Like, I might have to be the first person to go against the status quo and not do the traditional thing and do what's best for me. I might have to be the person that changes the world around me for one day. And we realize that that's too much. That crown is too heavy, so instead we settle. That's one reason. And see, and the second reason, probably the most important reason, is because when we have that dream, and we have that goal, and we do find out what our purpose is in life, see, and we share that dream with somebody else, they don't see what we see. And it makes us stop seeing it. We shared our vision with someone who was blind, and it made us lose our vision too.
Where you are today and where you want to go. And I'm here to tell you, it just comes down to price. There's a price to pay to become somebody new. There's a price to pay for change. If you don't make it, it's on you. There's nobody else to blame. Everything is your fault. Everything. The good stuff in your life, that's on you. You did that. You either put yourself in a position to deserve it, to be around people that want to help, to take care of you. Luck came by, you were able to capitalize on it. But will you have the fare to get on? And maybe that's it. Maybe you just got really lucky. But you had the fare to get on the bus, and that's on you. So you should be very proud of the things that you have in your life. But all the things in your life that aren't to your satisfaction, those are all your fault.
So if you're talking about manifesting your dreams, well, it only requires two things. It requires a clear intention. An intention is a vision, a possibility. The moment you say, what would it be like to be healthy? What would it be like to be wealthy? What would it be like to have a new home? What would it be like to have a great job? And you get this idea in your mind, that's intention. Then you write down the details. Okay, I want to travel around the world. I want to have great benefits, great insurance. I want to work with really cool people. I want to have a chance to be creative. And you list all of those individual elements to fortify your dream. The more you get clear on those details, the more your brain begins to work in new ways. Anytime you make your brain work differently, you're changing your mind. Now, the moment you get inspired and you begin to feel what it would be like to live in that future, your body is getting a chemical sampling, an emotional sampling. It's getting a taste of the future. You have to move into an elevated state. This place, Heart Center, is the center of creation.
Until you have discovered something you are willing to die for, you're not fit to live. Are you so emotionally, viscerally invested in your vision for the rest of your life, in your business, in your health, in your humanity, in your giving, in your family, in your service to the world, that no matter what happens, you would take a bullet for it? Think about grit. Don't dilute your vision. When you get laughed at, don't dilute your vision. When you stumble, don't dilute your vision. When you feel scared, don't dilute your vision. When you get heartbroken, don't dilute your vision. When you're on the top of the mountain and everyone's saying your best, don't dilute your vision. When you're in the valley of pain and darkness and frustration and you feel like giving up, don't dilute your vision. And don't just do it for yourself. Do it for your family. Do it for your team. Do it for what it makes of the world, because you were one of the rare souls who didn't listen to the voice of their fear. Instead, you exercised the bravery to roll up your sleeves and get the job done.
I want to execute and be defined by a vision of the future instead of the memories of the past. So most people's brains are organized to reflect everything they know in their life. Their brain is a record of the past. And if you feel the same way every single day, and feelings and emotions are the end product of past experiences, it means, number one, nothing new is happening in your life. And number two, those emotions are keeping you anchored to the past. If thoughts are the language of the brain, and feelings are the language of the body, and how you think and how you feel creates a state of being, most people are literally connected to a past. So then the fundamental question is, can you believe in a future that you can't see or experience with your senses yet, but you've thought about enough times in your mind that your brain is literally changed to look like the experience has already occurred? And can we begin to emotionally embrace a future reality and begin to emotionally embrace it to such a degree that we fall in love with that future reality, that our body, as our unconscious mind, begins to believe it's living in that future reality in the present moment, and we're signaling new genes in new ways to change our body to look like the experience has already occurred in preparation for the event.
That's a lesson really within itself, that you can't share your dreams and your goals with everybody. Like, everybody doesn't deserve to have that type of access to you. Everybody doesn't deserve to be able to treat something that's so fragile because they won't treat it with the same care like you will. Sometimes it's going to be the people that you never thought would see it, that you never thought would doubt you, that you never thought would take your dreams and treat them like they were nothing. And see, we think that just because they are our family or just because they are our friends, that they just supposed to automatically believe in us. But what I want you to understand is that until you get to the realization that you have to be okay sometimes with people that even that you love, even the ones close to you, that they might not believe in you, you may never get to where it is you want to go.
You have to then understand that when you truly do this properly, You're not waiting for your healing to feel whole. You're not waiting for your success to feel empowered. You're not waiting for your wealth to feel abundant. You're not waiting for your new relationship to feel love. You're not waiting for the mystical moment to feel awe. That's the old model of reality, of cause and effect, waiting for something outside of you to change how you feel inside of you. And when you feel better inside, you pay attention to whatever caused that. That's cause and effect. Then you have to teach your body emotionally how that future is going to feel like before it's made manifest. In other words, you have to feel awe in order for the mystical moment to happen. You have to feel abundance before your wealth can occur. You have to feel in love with life before your new relationship happens. And so we're not defining reality by our senses, because we're not waiting then for anything outside of us to change how we feel inside of us. So if there's physical evidence in your brain and body to look like the experience has already occurred. So then, when you combine a clear intention, that's a thoughtful process, with an elevated emotion, a heartfelt state of being, thoughts are the language of the brain, feelings are the language of the body. When you truly do that, your brain and body are living in the future instead of living in the past, and you're going to be drawn to some new event.
See, and again, that's why I said it's so important to watch who you share your dreams and your goals with, because everybody won't support your dreams. And see, sometimes it's going to end up being the people that you always thought would. And if you share it with them and you put too much faith into that, or you put all your trust into that, and when they don't support it, you might give up on the only thing that God put you here to do. Because I want you to understand something. When you believe in it, when you work for it, when you fight for it, and they'll believe in it too one day. But the one thing I want you to understand is that the only person you need to believe, the only person that you need, is you.
It's going to take time to pull your brain and body out of the past and continuously invest your energy into the future. So can you then maintain that vision, that view of your future, independent of the conditions in your environment, independent of the emotional addictions or conditionings or habits of the body, and independent of time? Because if you can, that's what greatness is all about. That's when we begin to truly change. And people around the world are doing this consistently, and they're doing it really well because it's our natural, innate way of being.